Is the coronavirus affecting business?
Well, it's certainly the way we're operating is a little bit different than we were operating a month ago. We're following all the procedures as far as sanitary, as far as, in fact, people entering the site, we're taking their temperatures. We're abiding by all the, laws enacted in Mexico to cope with this and above. We're trying to follow the WHO protocols.
Okay.
So the operation, the mine is still running as per normal, with the exception of those protocols, and our development asset is still drilling away. Yes.
Okay, so it hasn't slowed down what you're doing, but you have had to implement some new procedures. Those don't sound like costly procedures. So is it genuinely business as usual?
No, it's generally business as usual. Those procedures aren't costly really at all. They're just abiding to, really, most of it's good common sense.
Right. Okay. I mean,
in Mexico, at least so far, and we certainly hope it remains this way, the rate of COVID in the population appears to be much lower than obviously in Europe and in even in Canada and the U.S. So for now, I hope that's a function of, who knows? We don't know. Maybe it's warmer weather, maybe whatever, but or maybe it's just a lack of testing. You're not sure at this point, and we're monitoring it day by day.
So all of your workers are Mexican. Then you're not having sort of travel restrictions, and local Mexicans at that. So it's not affecting travel plans. That has a knock-on effect on your business, by the sounds of it.
So travel. I mean, we do have two gentlemen from Halifax who travel back and forth. So that has been for now it has been terminated, that travel. Myself, I'm very hands-on. I'm usually there every month. It's been a month now since I've been there, and it'll make it more difficult to be on site from Canada here. But fortunately, most of our people, and we have a very, very strong team and a very strong management team in Mexico. Our chief operating officer lives in Mexico, in East Nami. So he's there. So it really hasn't impacted us too much at this point.
No, we're getting that a lot from a lot of the CEOs we've been interviewing. There seems to be a resounding business as usual. However, obviously, the markets are taking a different approach. I think we had that reset where, at the end of quite a long bull run, I think a lot of the institutions are taking money off the table. Normal, you'd expect that, but very quickly followed close on the heels by the COVID-19 outbreak and it going global very quickly. That's had a big impact on a lot of junior companies. You're in production, you got some cash flows, you've raised some money recently, but your share price got knocked along. And I'm not going to pick companies up on this because I think everyone's got knocked. The market sentiment seems to have, taken a whack to the abdomen. So what's your take on market conditions, when it's going to recover, and if so, do you think you'll get back to where you were?
I think we're just in a broad-based sell-off right now, and people are selling anything that's not nailed down. So it's a run to cash. But we saw this in 2008. I mean, everything was sold in 2008, and then it came back up after the crisis has settled down. I do feel that all this quantitative easing, and I think the governments and the central banks are doing the right thing. It's what they have to do. But there's being a tremendous amount of money created right now. And that typically, in the longer term, is good for precious metals. So I look forward to the price of the metal regaining what it's lost and going up from there. I think that we've just almost exponentially just increased the amount of money out there and the stimulus.
Yeah, for sure. But let's be clear. You're talking about two different things there. We're talking about your share price and its ability to regain value, and then you're talking about the price of gold. So can you give me your views on how both those things correct themselves?
Right, and we talk about our share price, and it's taken a hit. I mean, it had a very, very good year last year. We were up 200%. And we did get our new project down in Jalisco, and we've been drilling there, and the results have been extremely good, which was very good for our share price. You know, we hit a high of about 85 cents. We did opt to do a financing, and you know, there was some discussion about that. Is that dilutive? But we did it for one reason: is because we were getting such great results on our project down in Jalisco at Los Ricos. And we were able to nail down some deals for some claims in what we're calling our Los Ricos North project. And that project, we're slowly working, a little bit quietly working away at that. And we saw an opportunity there, but we had to get that consolidation done first. And really, we've gone from being at starting out at 2 rigs to now we're at 6 drill rigs. So it hasn't slowed us down there at all. And we had the opportunity, we went out for 15 million. There was demand for over 50 million, and we sell it 25 million Canadian. So the company has over 20 million US dollars, we report in US dollars, in the bank. Peral, hey, you know, the metal price just hit 1250 silver, but really we've been making money at Peral around 700,000 US a month. We're also owed 11.5 million from the Mexican government, US. So, you know, we're well positioned, and actually the financing now in hindsight looks pretty good. You know?
Well, it looks like a stroke of genius, and you know, sometimes luck plays a part, and timing plays a part. But you know, you did that at 70 cents. It gives you a lot of cash in the bank at the moment, and you know, if things did get worse, you've got optionality, I guess. There, I should say you've got a little bit of revenue coming in. I want to dig into that in a second. So, the companies that we see struggling, the ones that don't have cash in the bank, you know, they are restricted in terms of what they can do. And if they do go and raise now, just one short month after you raised your money, that's a very expensive raise for most of these guys. So you must be pleased, I guess.
Yeah, look, we're happy. We're happy with the raise. We're very happy with our balance sheet. We even at 1250, you know, 1250 is below our all-in sustaining costs. But now our all-in sustaining cost has probably changed because the peso has just been clobbered. It's up close to 24 pesos to the US dollar. And we sell in US dollars. 60% of our costs are in pesos. So the peso devalues, our cost goes down. And we're still getting that US dollar, which is strengthening. Interesting, the US dollar strengthening and gold's going up. But, you know, so we look at that and we say, strong balance sheet. We have a mine that we've been operating now for 5.5 years, which is working great. I really think that silver being at 1250 is an anomaly. But with the peso devaluing, I think we're pretty close to being cash flow positive still at site. And there's one other thing there I'd like to mention. On site at the mine, we just are commissioning, and we should be finished commissioning imminently, a SART. And that SART is a plant that we built for $3 million. It should pay back in the next 6 months. As we speak here, we were consuming 14 tons of cyanide a day. That's our biggest consumable. And it's in US dollars, by the way. And it's about $2,500 US dollars per ton. Now that SART plant right now is generating about 4 tons a day. So an extra 10,000 US a day. And it's generating copper too, which we can sell. So really, Peral, I feel that at mine site, we're breaking even still at these prices or doing a little better than breaking even. And I think it's an anomaly, the silver price at 1250. It's at a ratio to gold of 100, almost hit 125 to 1, which has never happened.
Yeah, but silver's always has been fairly volatile.
True.
Mineral, you know, so you've got to take a slightly longer term view, which is I guess what you're doing in terms of your decision making and your planning. I do understand that, but can I just compartmentalize, because I don't want to get bounce around too much. Can I sort of compartmentalize this? So with the silver component of revenue stream, you know, we talked last time about the tailings component for instance, where I think you talked about a $13 silver price being paid. I mean, how do you manage the terms of those contracts whenever silver dips to below the price which you're being asked to pay? I mean, how does that work?